Hi everyone, Lee Willoughby from Functional again here. I'm just going to explain to you how to do your urine test, which is the organic acid analysis. You'll receive this box from Great Plains Laboratory. It has a label on the front of it which describes the types of tests that can be done with this test kit. I'll go through the contents of the box, but first of all we'll just talk about why we're doing this test just briefly. We're going to look at your nutritional adequacy, the energy production within your body, how well you're making neurotransmitters and various other chemicals, and also it gives us some idea about your gut health as well, and that marries up with the stool test, which I often do together with this test, so we can get a really good picture with this test and the stool test. Okay, so it's really important that the timing of this test and the shipping timing is correct, just like for the stool test. So we'd like you to courier your samples over to Hawke's Bay on the Monday, just like before. So the best time to do this test is probably Sunday morning. The reason for that is that it's a morning urine sample, so it's an early morning urine sample, and also it needs to be frozen for a good period of time before it goes off to the laboratory, and so 24 hours is perfect for that. So preparing for this test, we need to start preparing 48 hours before you do the urine sample, which is Friday morning till Sunday morning. So for those 48 hours we want you to avoid certain foods, and there's a list in the instruction booklet, please take a look. Various foods do sometimes affect the level of chemicals in the urine and give you a false positive, so avoiding these foods mean that you get a true picture of what's going on. We also ask you to stop any supplements that involve vitamins and minerals, cofactors, 48 hours before this test, because we don't want that to contribute to any of the chemicals reading in the sample, and want to know exactly what's going on in your body. Another aspect of this test is that you don't want the urine to be too dilute. So the day before, at about 6 p.m, we ask you to refrain from drinking anything after 6 p.m, just to make sure that the concentration of the urine the next morning is okay. The other thing about timing for women, if you're menstruating, it's probably a difficult time to do this sample, and we don't want any contaminants within the urine. So if you could wait for another week within your cycle when you can do this, that would be the best choice. In terms of the instruction booklet, the requisition form, this needs to be filled in correctly for the lab to be able to process the sample. So basically, we need you to fill in your details here, your date of birth, etc. And underneath that, I need you to fill in my name and the clinic name, so Lee Willoughby, Functional again. And you do not need my signature, because they already know that I've requested this test kit for you. Just put the date. Underneath that, we need you to check which of the tests that we're going to do. We'll have discussed this in your appointment. Every single person that I do this on, I do the organic acid test, which is the top box. But there are some additional tests here that are extra money that I do choose for some people, and you'll know about that if we've discussed it. So just check the top box unless you know that we're going to do any of the others. If you could tick the credit card box here and fill in your credit card details, because you pay the company direct, and then at the bottom fill out and sign the date that you collected the sample, when you sent the sample, and that you're happy for me to receive your results for interpretation. Okay, so that's the requisition form. Let's have a look in the box. So in the box, in addition to the paperwork, we have a urine sample bottle. We have a specimen bag, and there's some absorbent material in the box as well, which goes in with your sample. There's a cold block, and what we'd like you to do is when you receive this box to take this out and go and put it in the freezer in preparation for when you do this test. So there's also a foil bag which keeps everything really cold for transport across to Hawke's Bay, and there's the courier bag. Okay, so when you do your sample, you need to fill the bottle just like you would with a GP sample, but you need to fill it to the top of the label. That's the amount that they require. It's up to you as to when you label this, but it might be easier to label it beforehand with your details. And then once you've done that and you've made sure that it's tightly screwed on, place it in your Ziploc bag with the absorbent material, which is this sheet here. Seal it into the Ziploc bag, and it's sometimes helpful just to make sure that you've got all the air out of it. So when you've got your sample and your absorbent material in the bag and you've sealed it, you want to take your requisition form that you've filled out, fold it up and put it in the pocket that's in the back of the bag. And then fold that over, take your foil bag, pop your specimen into that foil bag and grab your cold block, which will be solid by now, pop it into the bag with it, keep it nice and cold and seal the foil bag. So when you've sealed the foil bag, you place this in the freezer for the next 24 hours and retrieve it on the Monday morning. You then need to pop it in the box, close the box, and then pop your box into the courier bag. Just to mention, you need to put your sender details on the courier bag. Okay. So New Zealand Couriers are the company that take these samples over to Hawke's Bay. They are in town, so if you live in town, you can give them a call, and the number is in the instruction booklet, and they will come and collect this. You just need to tell them that there is a prepaid collection, prepaid sample needing to be collected. And if you're rural though, you need to put it in the bag and just put your details on it and take it into the New Zealand Couriers depot in the centre of town. It's a good idea to take that as early as possible on the Monday just to make sure they've got enough time to transport it across. And then that's it. So I hope that's been helpful, and if you do have any questions about any of that or there's anything additional, please email me. If you've got any feedback about this video, I'd be very grateful for that too. Otherwise, have a great day and I'll see you soon. Thanks.